And he was this painter who painted a lot of biblical scenes in like the 1800s, and actually he's famous because he's one of the very first African American painters. And like many, he moved to Europe in order to be able to really get his career going. But he had such a transformative experience when he painted this picture that's going to come up. And he went to the Holy Land. He went to Jerusalem and Bethlehem, and he realized that the Bible wasn't just a book, that these things happened in a place and they happened in a space that is very real. And that sort of transformed him to start painting in a more accurate way. So when he went back to, he lived in France, he bought a whole bunch of pots and like rugs and anything he could buy from like the tour shops and the gift shops, and he would insert those in his paintings as a way of making them more accurate. But this is the first thing he painted when he came back, was the Annunciation. And there's a miniature one of it over there. And it's one of my favorite paintings. So in the 1800s, I mean, electricity was a novelty. Like, they didn't have a lot of electricity. And so it was very, very rare and very, very new. But if you think about electricity, especially like fluorescent tubes, it's something that we can explain. Like, we can explain electricity. Like, we can make electricity appear. Like, it's not hard. Well, it's probably hard. But, I mean, like, you're an electrician. I don't want to say it's not hard. But it is hard. But, like, we can explain it. There's science. We have writings about how to make electricity. But he used a fluorescent tube as the angel in this picture. And that touched me so much because it's like, he saw something that we can understand, and he used that as a symbol for the divine, for God, for something that is so holy and so vast that we can't understand. And it's sort of talking about how you don't have to be afraid of things that you understand because you can't see God in it. You can't, I mean, like, I want to be able to have the eyes to see a light bulb and say, I see God in that. Even though that there was someone who invented that and there's some way I can understand that light bulb, that doesn't mean that God cannot work through that light bulb. That doesn't mean that the mystery is all of a sudden taken out because I understand. And he had the eyes to see something that in his time was probably very magical because, I mean, electricity, you just flip a switch instead of lighting a billion candles. But he saw that as an invitation to see God. He saw that as a new way of seeing where God was working. And I think that Christmas, especially when Jesus came down, is all about seeing God in a new way, taking an opportunity. When those shepherds were out on that field, and the angel said that there was a baby. A baby? Like, excuse me? Like, they took the opportunity to see God in a new way. They walked all the way down into that city and saw a baby laying there, and they didn't know it, but they were looking into the face of God, and they were seeing in a new way. And so during this holiday season, like, let's take the time, and even past holiday season, because stuff just gets cut off at Christmas. Let's take the time to see God in things that we can understand and things that we don't understand. Because that's truly where God is working and moving and speaking to us. Amen?
Amen.